Okay, now question number 4, children, where they are asking us to prove that the following functions do not have any maxima or minima. So for conclusion, first the working will be the same. We'll find the derivatives of all these. Okay, so first function was, okay, e to the power of x, derivative of e to the power of x is e to the power of x. Okay, now this expression never will be 0, children, because e is a constant number, value hoti hai 2 point something something. So that to any power at all will never give you a 0. Okay, a non-zero number to any power can never give you 0. Okay, so we'll say that this derivative can never be 0 for any value of x. So जब डेरिवेटिव भी वैनिश नहीं करेगा तो naturally we'll have no maxima, no minima, because that's the necessary condition for maximum minima, that its first order derivative should be 0. So that is what is happening in all of them. See, the next function was log x. Derivative of log x क्या आता है? 1 upon x. Okay, so 1 upon x can never be 0. इसका range होता है, domain होता है log का, x is positive, greater than 0. Okay, so for all real numbers 1 upon x would also be always non-zero real number. Okay, so we would say again, because it will never be 0, so no, neither maxima nor minima. Then third function was a polynomial given there, okay, which I have differentiated to give you 3x square plus 2x plus 1. Okay, now when I try to factorize this, find its root. So I've taken out d for this discriminant. Discriminant is coming out to be negative. Okay, that means you cannot factorize this for real roots. So you would say this is not solvable, or we do not have any real number satisfying this. Again means that this will never be equal to 0. This derivative is not equal to 0 because it doesn't have any real root. So again it will have no maxima, no minima. Okay, now fifth question says out here, find the absolute maximum value, absolute minimum value for the functions. Okay, so the first one, fx is equal to x cube, finding the derivative 3x square, equating for maxima minima 0, x is equal to 0. So this is either point of maxima or minima. Now it is similar to what we have done earlier also. The only difference is, till now the functions were given vaguely. Here they have mentioned the intervals. So there will be a slight difference in treatment of the question. When intervals are given, children, then it's not only the critical points where you need to find the values, whether it is maximum or minimum, but you will also find it at the extremities, at the end points of the interval. Okay, so एक point तो हमें यहाँ से मिल गया, x is equal to 0, which is likely to be maxima or minima. Apart from this, automatically जो आपको interval mention था, उसका starting -2 and 2 पे भी आप check करोगे कि values maximum है या minimum है. In a fixed interval, function can have maxima minima at the extremities. There was a theory this saying, if you have read the chapter seriously, it was told there. Okay, so that is what you have to keep in mind in question number 5. So I've got this critical point. At this critical point, I've evaluated the function which is coming as 0. I will also evaluate it at -2 as well as +2. So then comparing all these, अब absolute बोला है उसने, अभी तक local था तो सारे maxima minimas बनाने थे, अभी absolute बोलना है तो biggest and the smallest value. So comparing these, reading these, you will see सबसे बड़ा is 8, so you will say maximum value is 8, minimum is -8. Okay, that is all you have to do. Rest of the working remains the same. So I have just done one part because the questions are, you've already dealt with such questions. They are all similar. Same thing you have to do. Keep finding the derivative, then keep equating that derivative to 0. Find value of x where that derivative has vanished. There is likely to be maxima minima. तो वहाँ पे आपको क्योंकि वैल्यू निकालनी है, पॉइंट नहीं निकालना है, तो आप सीधे टेस्ट भी करने का ज़रूरत नहीं है, सेकेंड ऑर्डर या मे बी checking the sign. You just, once you get the critical points, equating it to 0, you evaluate the function straight away, and also at the extremities, and then looking at the values you can easily decide, yes, this is clear maximum and this is minimum value. Okay, because of the word absolute maximum minima. Okay, so try this, you will be able to easily do it, children. Okay, I think I have left the sixth one also because that also simple. Find the maximum profit that the company can make if the profit function is given by this. If this is your profit function, whether maxima or minima, we know the derivative should vanish. So first thing is you'll find its derivative. It's a polynomial. You can easily find the derivative, equate that to 0, find your value, for which value of x this is coming as 0, and at that value, okay, now you need to decide whether it is maxima or minima, so you'll have to find the second derivative also. Okay, so yeah, second order se find karo, ya maybe you can just plot the point and decide where maxima where the sign is changing. Okay, so any test of your convenience you can apply, first order or second order, and conclude whether it is maxima or minima. It will be maxima क्योंकि वो क्वेश्चन ही है. एंड टू फाइंड दैट मैक्सिमम, सो जो भी आपसे यहाँ से पॉइंट मिला होगा x इज इक्वल टू वट एवर, आई थिंक इट्स कमिंग आउट टू बी -2 into the 36, and yes, it will come out to be -2. So put x as -2, evaluate, and that would be your maximum profit. Okay, find both maximum values and minimum values for this particular function in this interval. ओके, तब इंटरवल है तो अगर मेंशन तो आप 0 पे भी निकालोगे, 3 पे भी, और बीच से अगर कोई क्रिटिकल पॉइंट्स आते हैं देयर ऑल्सो. ओके, सो फॉर द क्रिटिकल पॉइंट्स we'll have to differentiate. So if you differentiate this function, that is what you get. Equating that to 0, factorizing this polynomial, you're getting the factors as x minus 2 and x plus 2. Okay, now x plus 2 children can never be equal to 0. That is a पॉजिटिव क्वांटिटी, एक्स स्क्वायर बीइंग अ स्क्वायर, एंड टू पॉजिटिव क्वांटिटी में +2 करोगे तो वो 0 कभी नहीं आ सकता है. सो ओनली दिस फैक्टर कैन बी 0. सो फ्रॉम हियर यू गेट x इज इक्वल टू 2. सो देयर इज ओनली वन क्रिटिकल पॉइंट, दैट इज x इज इक्वल टू 2, वेयर यू कैन हैव अ मैक्सिमा और मे बी अ मिनिमा. एंड आई थिंक अगेन द क्वेश्चन वॉज जस्ट फाइंड द वैल्यू. सो आई हैवंट टेकन द पेन्स ऑफ चेकिंग वेदर इट इज मैक्सिमा और मिनिमा. सीधे हमने फंक्शन की वैल्यू निकाल ली है, वहीं से पता चल जाएगा. ओके, सो इवेल्युएटिंग f2 which came out to be -39, f0 because of the extremes. Okay, f0 came out to be 25, f3 is coming out to be 16. So comparing these three values, looking at these values, clearly we know the minimum value is 39, maximum value is 25. All right. Okay, then 8th question, this function fx is given to you as sine 2x in the interval 0 to 2 pi, and again you must have to they must have asked you to find, they're asking point of maxima. Okay, at what point will the value be maximum? Also find as a function this attain its maximum value. Value पूछ नहीं रहा है आपको, point ही पूछ रहा है खाली. Okay, so where x is equal to what के लिए इसमें maxima होगा. So again you will differentiate here. Derivative of sine 2x will come out to be 2 cos x. For maxima minima you'll equate that to 0. You then 0 is at pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is 0. So you get this theta 2x is equal to pi by 2. Right? So x would be pi by 4. अच्छा, ये इस रेंज में आप एंगल्स देखोगे खाली, तो एक तो पाई बाई 2 पे 0 होगा, फिर जाके 3 पाई बाई 2 पे 0 होगा. राइट, at pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2 cos becomes 0. So you're getting two critical points, pi by 4 and 3 pi by 4. Okay, now okay, another thing is this range is for x children. Okay, 0 to pi by 2 is for x, but हमारा एंगल जो है वो 2x है. So आप यहाँ से पहले 2x वर्कआउट कर लोगे अपना. So if your x is ranging from 0 to 2 pi, that means your theta angle, which is 2x, is ranging from 0 to 4 pi. So there are two rotations. Okay, so 2 rotations में 4 times the value would be 0. एक तो we've set at pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2. फिर 2 pi के beyond जब जाएगा, so 2 pi plus pi by 2 and 2 pi plus 3 pi by 2. So that means 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2. There are 4 values at which this derivative would vanish. So you have 4 critical points: pi by 4, 3 pi by 4, 5 pi by 4, 7 pi by 4. Okay, because of this range आपका 4 pi तक है, 2 rotations है. Okay, now then taking out the second order derivative to decide whether maxima or minima, क्योंकि उसने हमसे maximum value पूछी थी. Okay, so second order derivative would come out to be -4 sin 2x. Okay, अब इन सारे points में से out of these 4 points you need to check कि कहाँ पर ये maxima के लिए negative होना चाहिए, derivative negative होगा. Okay, so at pi by 4 or 2x is pi by 2. Okay, 2x is pi by 2, so sin pi by 2 is 1. Negative आ रही है value. Negative would imply maxima. So it will be maximum at pi by 4, 1. Then 3 pi by 2 पे अगर आप देखते हो तो 3 पाई बाई 2 पे माइनस हो जाता है, साइन 3 पाई बाई 2 इज -1, -1 विल मेक इट पॉजिटिव, तो इस पॉइंट पर आपका मिनिमा होगा, वो हमारा इंटरेस्ट नहीं था। अगर दोनों पूछा होता मैक्सिमा मिनिमा, यू वुड कमेंट ओके यहाँ पे मिनिमा है, बट द क्वेश्चन वाज मैक्सिमा कहाँ है, सो वी आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन मिनिमा, वी आर ड्रॉपिंग दिस पॉइंट। 5 पाई बाई 4 अगेन सेम, 2 पाई प्लस पाई बाई 4 दिस पॉइंट, वहाँ पे फिर मैक्सिमा आएगा आपका, बिकॉज अगेन वैल्यू वुड बिकम 1, okay, so derivative will become negative. So if negative derivative, second order derivative is negative, that implies maxima. So you have maxima at pi by 4 and 5 pi by 4. 7 pi by 4 would be again this value, this point, 7 pi by 4. So वहाँ पे भी आपका derivative positive हो जाएगा, it would be minima. Okay, so we are dropping that. So we conclude our question was minima कहाँ कहाँ पर है, तो minima कहाँ पर है हमारा, pi by 4 and 5 pi by 4. Okay. All right, then what is the next question? Ninth one is, what is the maximum value of sin x plus cos x? That you do yourself, children. Okay, it's a simple function. Find its derivative. अभी हमने ऐसा function already पहले भी ले लिया है, sin x minus था वहाँ पे, यहाँ पे plus है. So anyhow, so whatever the value comes out to be, check x is equal to what के लिए this is becoming, the derivative is becoming 0, and then उसमें चेक कर लो सेकेंड ऑर्डर डेरिवेटिव से कि ये मैक्सिमा है, कंफर्म कर लो, एंड फाइंड मैक्सिमम वैल्यू बोल रहा है, पुट दैट वैल्यू हियर एंड इवैल्यूएट योर फंक्शन. Okay, then find the maximum value of this expression in this interval, and you have to find maximum value of the same in the other function. You will do this also on your own, children. Simple. Find the derivative, find the critical points equating this, the derivative to 0, and at those points plus at 1 and 3, क्योंकि interval दे दिया है तो आप f1 भी कैलकुलेट करोगे, f3 भी, एंड यहाँ से जो critical points आएंगे उन पर भी. Okay, and then according to either you can plot it, first derivative से करो या second से, conclude where you have maxima. Okay, try that question, because do some questions on your own, then you will understand whether you've understood or not. Okay, next we have, it is given that x is equal to 1, the function this attains its maximum value on this particular interval, then you have to find a. So they've already told you that x is equal to 1 is point of maxima. Okay, it is given that at x is equal to 1, function attains its maximum value. So that means x is equal to 1 is point of maxima. Be it point of maxima or minima, its derivative should vanish. That is the necessary condition. Okay, so we'll differentiate again here. Here, this was your function. Differentiate that function, equate it to 0, because we know that should happen for maxima and minima. And since it is given that x is equal to 1 is point of maxima, so our f dash of 1 should be 0. Okay, तो ये जो भी एक्सप्रेशन आपका आया था डेरिवेटिव का, इसमें x की जगह 1 रख दो. So your f dash 1 should be 0, because it has been given this was maxima. So evaluating, you are easily getting your value of a as 120. Okay, 12th question is asking you again, find maximum and minimum values for this given function in one rotation, 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so fx is equal to x plus sine 2x on the interval 0 to 2 pi, finding the derivative of x1 and of sine 2x is 2 cos 2x. For maximum minima, again you equate that to 0, which gives you from here cos x is minus 1 by 2. Minus 1 by 2 negative, second quadrant में जाएगा, so pi minus pi by 3. Pi by 3 is 1 by 2, cos pi by 3, right? So your angle, that is your 2x is equal to, ये general दे दिया है हमने notation. Okay, और आप अपने हिसाब से रीडिंग भी कर सकते हो, 4 pi तक जाएगा अगेन इसमें भी interval, right? Because this was range of x was from 0 to 2 pi, so your 2x will be from 0 to 4 pi, so there will be a number of angles, इसलिए general equation I have written here. Okay, so 2x would be 2n pi plus minus minimum angle is 2 pi by 3. Pi minus pi by 3 will be 2 pi by 3. Okay, now that was for 2x, so your x would be dividing by 2 throughout, n pi plus minus pi by 3. Okay, so from here now these are all your critical points. Put n is 0 1 2 3 4 that way. नेगेटिव वाला आप छोड़ दो क्योंकि आपका एंगल्स यहाँ सब पॉजिटिव हैं, तो we'll take n pi plus pi by 3. So first angle that you get is for 0 pi by 3, for 1 you'll get 2 pi by 3, for 2 4 pi by 3, 5 pi by 3, these many angles. Okay, if you go beyond this, then वो आपका angle beyond the range chala jayega. So we'll stop here. We'll get 4 values. So for these 4 values, you either have a maxima or a minima. Right now, where you have a maxima or a minima, I don't think so. Here again, point was asked. You were just asked find the maximum and minimum values. Okay, अगर point पूछा होता तो फिर आपको further second order derivative निकालना पड़ता to decide whether maxima or minima. But यहाँ पे उसने सीधे value पूछी है, तो we can cut it short. We can just at all the points we can evaluate the function. Okay, so that was your function. Evaluate your function at all the points, क्योंकि उसने सीधे value पूछी थी, not point. Okay, so f pi by 3 is coming as pi by 3 plus 3 by 2. Next, 2 pi by 3, it's coming as 2 pi by 3 minus 3 pi by 2. Like this, you go on evaluating. So you will also find at the extremities, as we said, we'll also find it at 0 and 2 pi when interval is given. So f0 is coming as 0, f2 pi is coming as 2 pi. Okay, I think you can do that. I've cut it short. You check, do your calculations from here. Orally bhi ho ja rahe hain. Right, okay, so now if you compare all these values, your minimum value is 0 clearly, maximum value is 2 pi. देखो इन सब में 2 pi में ये 3/2 √3 by 2 1.732 by 2 कुछ छोटी सी नेगेटिव वैल्यू होगी. This would be huge value, so this would somehow would be more than, all of them are greater than 0 and all of them are less than 2 pi. So this is your maximum value, this is your minimum value. Okay.